And I want to take a moment and thank a supporter of this episode, Alpha Comics, Calgary's best comic book shop with all things comics, figures, art, and local meetups from the city's most talented. Stay up to date on the most recent comics, dive into some of the trades from back in the day, or stock your shelves with the latest statues and figurines. Be sure to check out Alpha Comics, located at Unit 9, and that's 7005 18th Street Southeast. You can find them on all social medias at alphacomics.ca. We here at the Nerd Room would like to thank Alpha Comics for supporting this episode.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Nerd Room, where we talk all things comics and movies. This is episode number 29. We're discussing DC Comics Rebirth. I'm your host, Tim.
I'm Troy.
And I'm Sunjay. Welcome to the Hotel California. You know, this special Independence Day episode. Right off the bat, guys, let's just say 3 things that we love about America. I'll go first. 1, Bruce Springsteen. 2, Blue Jeans. 3, Meatloaf. You guys, what do you got?
Star Wars, Disneyland, Marvel Comics.
Spiderman, the Los Angeles Lakers, and go with Disneyland.
All right, yeah, you know, I mean, America, happy birthday. You're a country that provides us with a lot of cool stuff, so keep on rocking in the free world, I guess.
Very entertaining presidential races as well. Good luck with that, America.
Yeah.
I'm more interested in American Idol.
That's basically what the presidential race is right now. So, Sunjay, you lent your voice to another podcast this past week.
That's right. You can catch me on Delayed Offside. I think it's on SoundCloud, on Twitter. Well, actually, I don't think. I know it's on SoundCloud and Twitter.
It's also on iTunes.
It's also on iTunes, so check me out there if you're interested in hockey and all the latest signings and NHL draft and trades. Check it out.
Yeah, you guys will remember Baron. He did our Deadpool review episode. A good friend of the show.
Yeah.
That's right. Our lowest rated episode. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I can't wait for him to come back. That guy knows his figures, so be on the lookout.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
So, the weekend box office.
Yes.
So we had the Independence Day long weekend where we have
yeah.
usually big movies dropping, and this year's no exception. But Dory is now the 3-time winner.
Wow, the little fish that can.
Yeah.
Thanks for all the fish.
Yeah. Took down newcomers The Purge, election year,
Yeah.
the BFG, and the Legend of Tarzan.
I'm just saying, I just came up with this brilliant idea. They should have combined all 3 of those movies into one awesome movie. You had Tarzan, you have Giant, and you can Purge. That's a $1 billion movie right there.
Right? Yeah.
There you go. So Tarzan did overperform.
Oh, that's good.
So the expectations were quite low for that. And
Yeah.
it pulled in something close to $40 million over the 3-day long weekend.
Not bad.
It's good. The Purge, again, here's an interesting thing. Another sequel, but it's done very well.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
consistently met this $30 million mark.
Yeah.
So it doesn't fall to the perils of the sequels that we're seeing in this year's movie slate,
fatigue,
right?
Yeah.
And so that's interesting. And I've heard good things about it. I'm not into that type of genre.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a bit scary for me.
His Crossbones is in there, isn't he?
Yeah.
So Tim, you're not really a horror guy. Troy, are you a horror guy?
Not really.
No?
No,
No, okay.
not so much. I like a good Scream 1 and 2.
Yeah. It's a
about
classic.
it. Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm a huge horror guy, so to me,
Nice.
Purge is right up there. It's kind of taken over as Saw as that franchise where every year they just pump out a movie.
Yeah.
It costs maybe I think it said $10 million.
Yeah, tripled its budget this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, how many movies can say that in opening weekend? So
That's
they're
right.
going to keep making these movies as long as they keep making money. So
That's the cool thing with these horror movies, though, right? They have such a low budget.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a thriving genre, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But, going back to the Saw movies, actually, I liked them all the way up until Saw 4.
Oh,
It got a
okay.
little ridiculous after that. I'd say. Yeah,
But these
I
movies
saw
are
too much.
constantly evolving, constantly changing what they're doing, right? It's not
Yeah.
just like a status quo where they keep producing the same movie over over again. They
right.
do something more extreme each time.
Right.
And
Oh,
I think
yeah.
it's when you get to that extreme level
Right.
that it becomes kind of just stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think we're still up to a point with The Purge. I was talking to a guy at work about it, and he says it's actually quite good.
Yeah.
So they're kind of still enjoying them as they go,
Nice.
which is nice to see from a sequel, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's good to hear.
I'm just waiting until you get Purge in space, like Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Jason X.
Yeah. Or what's the other one? Machete Space 2.
Oh, yeah.
Jeez, everyone's got to go to space at some point. Right?
Yeah.
So, Disney's The BFG, a Spielberg movie, right?
Yeah.
Did not fare very well at the box office this weekend.
No.
Yeah.
So this is something that likely cost a ton of money and only did about $20 million over the long weekend.
Oh.
Yeah, stiff competition, so this is a big year. Got a lot of movies backed up, and we still have movies in there like X-Men Apocalypse, Independence Day, which in itself dropped 60%. So this thing took a beating.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's 60% off of what it only made, I think the $41 million that it made last week.
Wow.
So this thing is not going to have legs. It's unfortunate to see a movie like that had potential.
Yeah.
And if you want to check out our thoughts on that, go back an episode and you'll hear all about
See, when
how we
Batman
received
vs.
that.
Superman dropped 60%, as long as it made $180 million the first week, it's okay.
Yeah, it's a big difference.
So what with the BFG though? That's something else. That must be Disney's lowest box office return they've had.
This
This
year,
year,
probably,
for sure, right?
Close.
Yeah, it's getting into, what's that one, Lone Ranger territory?
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know how much this one cost to make. Like, I'm assuming
Must
with
be
the
quite a
cast
bit.
and Spielberg and the computer graphics that go into it, probably was somewhat expensive.
Oh, yeah.
I heard
But-
north of 150.
Yeah, I was going to say it has to be over 100 for sure. Right?
Yeah.
So that'll likely make back its budget. A lot of these movies that are in that range will make back their budgets with the international gross.
Yeah.
That's true.
So it's probably something that you won't see a sequel out of if there is material there. I'm not
The
very familiar
BFG
with
too.
I have no
More
idea.
children's books, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's true. I mean, growing up, I read a lot of Roald Dahl. I don't know if kids still read him though. Like, is he still one of those ones that is Touchstone classic? Like Dr. Seuss is still.
I know.
huge.
Roald Dahl did James and the Giant Peach, right?
Yes, that's right.
Oh, that's a classic right
Yeah.
there. They should reboot that one.
Yeah.
Didn't Brian Singer do that?
Who's that?
Brian Singer? Something close to that?
No,
he
he
do that
did Jack and the Beanstalk.
Oh, yeah.
Or no,
Yeah.
Jack and the Giant Slayer.
Yeah,
that's
or
right,
something
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Well, what about Willy Wonka? I think that one, Chocolate
Yeah,
Factory, that's
yeah.
Roald Dahl as well. Right?
Yeah. What's your favorite Oompa Loompa song?
I don't know. I don't know.
Should we regale our audience with an Oompa Loompa tune?
Nah.
I'll start and you guys join in. Ready? Oompa Loompa Doompity Doo. Just crickets. You guys are killing me. I'm going back to delayed offside. I'm a free agent. I'm a hot commodity.
Good luck, Baron. So running back to our discussion about sequels for the past couple of weeks, the president of Pixar had some interesting comments towards their sequels on their current movie slate and how they're moving away from that. So we have Cars 3, Incredibles 2, and Toy Story 4 leading us into 2019. And he explicitly said that they're moving away from this concept of doing sequels. And to me, it seems like a bit of getting ahead of this, what we're seeing this year in particular, with sequels really failing to hit, with the exception of Dory.
Yeah.
So it's interesting he's making these comics as they're like just raking in cash on a movie.
Yeah.
But they say they've got all these original movies in the pipes, and they're moving towards more of something what Marvel's trying to do, and a little bit of what Star Wars is doing is this new entry or new original film, and then something that is closer to a sequel. So you have that kind of that basis of a franchise, but then you're also starting to roll out new franchises as well.
Right.
So it's a bit refreshing to see that they're going down that pathway and kind of getting away from the sequels. And I guess the way that Pixar is structured, they only have the original creators do the sequels.
Oh, that's cool. That's
And
cool.
it just so happens that the original creators have all kind of rolled out their sequels relatively at the same time, with good ideas and concepts going forward. So it was nice to see someone kind of standing up and saying, hey, look, guys, we're not just trying to, use our franchises and just rake in the money. We're going to give you original ideas like your Inside Outs, your Ups, your Ratatouilles. It's a nice, refreshing take.
Yeah.
And it would be something that I think other studios could learn from a bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
So in a year's time, we're going to be seeing Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yeah.
That's right.
And we've been waiting for this since essentially they started filming, but it's the release of set photos, unofficial set photos, but we got them.
Yeah.
And plenty of them.
Plenty of, there's tons, isn't there? Yeah. It looks great. The costume looks awesome. It's I was surprised because I thought the costume was going to be a little different than Civil War, just because, they're in the business of selling figures and merchandise. Right. So I thought the costume was going to be a little different, but I liked the original design in the first place, so totally on board with it. It's interesting to see that there's not so much CGI, obviously, now. This is just set photos, right? Yeah. So it's interesting to see the suit without the CGI masking. Right?
Yeah, they're probably going to pull some sort of CGI sheen over it.
Or filter or something, right? Yeah, but my biggest thing, like I mentioned to you guys offline, is the backpack.
Yes.
Spider-Man in a backpack for all you hardcore, sweaty Spider-Man nerds out there. This guy's in the backpack is just the coolest thing, and I almost got on my seat in Amazing Spider-Man 1 in that shot when he had the backpack. So to see this footage here, I'm in love with it. So yeah, nothing but positive thoughts.
So Troy, you're a big Spider-Man fan, I take it?
Oh yeah.
So there's been 4 costumes we could say that's been in the cinematic universe. We've had Tobey Maguire, red suit.
Black suit.
We've had black suit.
Yeah.
We've had Andrew Garfield, and now we've had this.
Two actually for Andrew Garfield.
Oh,
because
he got
Spider-Man 1
2.
and 2 were different.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So where would you put this? Would you put this number 1? Would you put this near the bottom, in the middle? Where does this rank for you?
Yeah, Andrew Garfield's Amazing Spider-Man 2 was a horrible movie. But that costume was like spot on. I think that might have been the best Spider-Man costume I've ever seen. It's right out of the comics, right?
Yeah.
Kind of has like that Mark Bagley look. But this one here, I like it because it's very original, but it gets the Spider-Man look. Anybody can look at this costume like that's Spider-Man. And I really like the size of the eyes. I love the color of the blue. And I love everything about this costume. So to rank it, I'd probably put this maybe 1 or 2, and then Andrew Garfield's Amazing Spider-Man 2 would be, today 1, tomorrow 2.
Yeah.
Everything else below that I currently care less about.
I really like the black costume from Tobey Maguire's.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The movie wasn't that great, but the black costume looked awesome, I thought.
Yeah, that's funny. That might be my worst, just because. What? Yeah, because the Secret Wars Spider-Man black suit is so iconic with the white spider on the chest. He had the white webbings on the wrists. And it was iconic. And for them to just basically make the Sam Raimi suit black they just put a black overlay over there. Yeah, it's a little disappointing on my end, but it was cool to see on the big screen.
Don't patronize me. You hated it. What about you, Tim? I mean, are you a big Spider-Man guy? Seems like you're more of a Avengers.
Yeah, I sit in the Avengers camp, but I don't say I do like the Amazing Spider-Man suits. The originals from the Raimi trilogy, again, they're classics. The first time we're seeing this in action, web slinging and all that, so that holds a particular point or a special point of nostalgia for me.
For sure.
But I really did like this recent adaptation in Civil War. I thought it was cool, something different.
Yeah.
And it harkened back to kind of the Ditko era,
Yes.
which I really liked and really can
Nice.
appreciate. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so I like them taking inspirations from different eras of Marvel Comics, from Spider-Man comics, and kind of projecting that onto the screen. And I like the idea. I'm assuming we're going to get some other suit maybe in this, but I like the idea of continuity through into at least the start of Spider-Man Homecoming. He's got the same suit. It's nice to see stuff evolving, like the Iron Man suit and that, and you can kind of buy into that. But this kid doing kind of the web slinging and becoming a superhero with the support of Tony Stark, you would probably expect that the suit that he gave him is probably good enough to last through Civil War and into his next movie.
Yeah, absolutely. I like the one when he's wrestling against Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh yeah, Bonesaw.
Yeah,
you got 2 minutes.
Bonesaw. Oh yeah.
So you guys do a Bonesaw impersonation, but you won't sing along to Oompa Loompa. Hate you guys.
Macho Man.
R.I.P. Macho Man.
Yeah.
So Sunjay, you brought to our attention an interesting article.
That's right.
Regarding Ghostbusters and an Empire magazine photo shoot.
Yeah.
Particularly the cover.
Yeah, I don't know. I think these days we're overly critical of stuff. This thing kind of just bothered me. I feel like this movie is getting a lot of hate, unjustifiably. I mean, as a Batman v Superman fan, I can understand, fans of Ghostbusters, they must get so sick and tired of every time anything this movie does, it just gets hated on. So if you haven't seen the cover, it's pretty harmless in my opinion. All it is the 4 girls in the background, and then it's Chris Hemsworth in the middle, because he plays the secretary in the film. And people were complaining, saying that, of course they showed the man in the middle. Of course he's the center of attention. I don't get it. I don't know, maybe it's just me. I think it was just overblown. And then again, who knows who's complaining about this, but I thought that was just really dumb. It's just taken away from the movie. I mean, I'm really excited for Ghostbusters, and I'm going to see it probably opening weekend, and we'll do our whole podcast review around it. But yeah, what are your guys' thoughts? I mean, am I overly uncritical, or do you feel like it's justifiably reason to hate this cover?
I think people tend to just heap on negativity onto this movie in particular. Because if you look at the article, and I'm sure there's all sorts of criticisms of this, but it's a couple tweets from random people. I don't know if these are famous people or whatever. And I don't really think it's even, as you explained it, the girls are in the background and Hemsworth's up front. It's more of a cross-section of the 4 of them. And he's in the middle, but it's symmetrical, right? I really don't know. I think, again, this thing is just... for whatever reason, it's got this dark cloud hanging over top of it, and it's going to continue that way. And it's because it's just charged with this feminism, and people were pissed that they made it all females at first, and now they're pissed that the man's in the middle. gives a shit?
It's ridiculous. And I mean, it's a poster, right? It's a movie poster. You can look at tons of posters out there, and they do things to market the movie based on, characters and actors, right?
Yeah.
So Chris Hemsworth is a pretty big deal. So are the other ladies, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I just think it's just a little silly for people to be reacting that way over a man in the middle.
I agree.
Yeah.
Enough negativity towards Ghostbusters. Let's talk about some positivity Ghostbusters next time. This movie I think is going to do great, so...
I'm rooting for it.
Yeah.
I don't know. This could be Independence Day.
No. This has a great cast. I mean, great director,
it
great
does have a great
cast.
cast.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a dickhead again and rip a movie apart, so I'm hoping that it's good.
Yeah. Even if it's not, we'll just get you drunk and then go to it. And you'll be like, this is awesome.
As I have to take 7 pisses. Miss half the movie.
You can still come back.
If I did that to Independence Day, I would have liked it a lot better.
So we're going to be talking lots of comics this episode.
Yes.
Particularly DC Rebirth. Before we get into that, Marvel has been dropping all kinds of new stuff. From Civil War to Captain America, which we're going to hold off on. We're going to let that marinate a bit and see where that goes in the end, because there's been lots of reveals recently, which we quite haven't got to. So we're going to leave that and maybe discuss that further down the road.
Sweet.
Are you guys a fan of the Marvel Prelude comics? So these are comics that are tied directly to the cinematic universe and are part of continuity, part of canon, and they're usually of minor characters and kind of setting up the movie. So you have them from everything from Iron Man 2, I believe, right through to now Doctor Strange, which drops this week.
Yeah, I respect them, but I tend to stay away from, when it comes to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I haven't really dipped in them, but I have heard what you've had to say about them. They seem pretty neat.
They're nice. They're a nice supplemental piece. Like, they really don't give away much. This one in particular, they had preview pages that they released. So the whole issue comes out this week, this Wednesday. Yeah. But this one just shows, it kind of gives you, it's about Wong. And it's set in London, and it gives you a bit of an idea of some of the timeline, because there's a reference to Dark Elves in London. So it gives you an idea of where this is sitting.
I like that.
Continuity-wise. That's cool. I didn't even think of that connection.
And so it's post-Thor 2.
See, I might be interested in picking this up just for the fact in Winter Soldier they dropped the Stephen Strange reference.
Yep,
that's
so
right.
I'd really like to know, where is this going to fit? Right?
Exactly. So that is going to be the confusing thing about Doctor Strange. Where does this sit? I'm guessing it's more or less concurrent from probably before Winter Soldier right through until after Civil War.
That's right.
Yeah.
I know we had discussed this in the past when we looked at the Doctor Strange trailer, but I'm guessing because there's a reference in Winter Soldier that there's going to be some sort of like stretched out training montage timeline thing where it goes basically through to present day MCU and Doctor Strange emerges, right?
Just Rocky music, and it's him lifting the weights in the Siberia.
Yeah, exactly.
Growing the long beard and just doing all the punching rocks and stuff. Yeah. You're the best around. In case you haven't heard, this is our musical episode, so... strap in.
Yeah, Broadway.
Yeah.
So be sure to check the Doctor Strange Prelude out. They usually go pretty quick off the shelves, and they're hard to find after. Yeah. So they're usually hard to find. Usually they ship in small quantities. Yeah. And unfortunately, by the time you're listening to this, they're probably all gone. But if they're still there, grab them.
If you've mastered time travel, go back and pick them up.
Yeah,
are you in for a treat? In celebration of Independence Day, American Independence Day, Marvel dropped a new book that's going to be coming out this fall called USAvengers.
Yeah. Oh, I get it.
Yeah,
it's like a play on words.
So sure it is. So right now, Sunspot, he's running AIM Avengers Idea Mechanics. Yeah. And it's going to have... Yeah, he is a very busy guy. So this roster is a bit unique. So we've got Squirrel Girl, Pod, Red Hulk, and Danielle Cage, which is the future Captain America, daughter of Luke Cage and Jessica Jones. There's also Cannonball and Tony Ho, which is Yinsen, the guy that helped Iron Man escape from the Afghan or Vietnam prison or whatever it was. Yeah, exactly. She's the new Iron Patriot.
Oh, cool.
Going out of kind of this timeline, because we talked about it before. Spoilers, but you haven't really read it probably, Sunjay, but...
That's all right. I probably never will.
So she's going by Iron Patriot, not War Machine?
Yeah, I believe so. She's got the big Iron Patriot suit on. Like, it's a big, huge Hulkin-looking thing.
Oh, cool.
Okay. It's I got an image up right now. It's not this one?
No.
Oh, okay. So that's someone else then?
Yes, so that's a different person. So that the War Machine character is out of the Invincible Iron Man.
Yes.
And there's a new Iron Patriot.
Gotcha.
Which is this Tony Ho.
Gotcha. Cool.
So yeah, so it's again this changing of the status quo in the Marvel universe.
Doing it like every 6 months now.
Exactly, and we got another image from this. So they've been dropping hints kind of periodically throughout the last couple of weeks, and they've been using this, "Divided We Stand" sort of title.
Yeah.
And they finally released a full image of this.
That's right.
And again, the editor-in-chief stressed that this wasn't a reboot, this wasn't a two teams fighting, this isn't another event, this is just purely a status quo change.
And where they are.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's nice to know. This is like another giant event. So this is essentially what comes out of Civil War 2.
That's right.
So we're barely into Civil War, and we've already seen what's coming out the other side of it, which, at times I get a bit frustrated with.
For sure. Oh,
yeah, totally.
But looking at the image itself, so you just Google "Divided We Stand," they got this new image. It's basically two teams, or they say they're not teams, but they're setting something up here. And it's just filled with different characters. And there's some very noticeable absences as well.
Right, big time.
And that's what's getting a lot of the buzz, is the fact that Iron Man's not there.
Yeah. Peter Parker, Spiderman.
Peter Parker, Falcon's not there, or Falcon,
Yeah.
Captain America's not there.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of prominent characters that aren't present, but there is some interesting people. So prominent in the front of one side is Doctor Doom holding Iron Man's helmet.
That is something else right there, right?
That's cool.
Yeah.
Which is a big part of Invincible Iron Man now.
He's been a big deal in there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Dr. Doom is kind of taken a new form and somewhat reformed himself. And you always get this idea that there's something underlying there.
Yeah.
So that's a really good book to pick up. And it's probably
it's fantastic.
What they're trying to do is probably tell you these are the characters to maybe follow a bit, because they're going to be more prominent coming out, maybe getting ongoing series or part of a larger team going forward. And some other unique ones in there. There's Jessica Jones is coming back. You got Captain Marvel's big. Thor Odinson.
Thor is interesting, right? Because he's it's a different looking Thor. It's obviously the original Thor that we all know, but he has a big status quo look.
Yeah, and he's got the haircut.
Right. Which
and
is
so
something we might see in the movie coming
exactly.
up now.
And he's getting a new ongoing series as well.
Right.
Thor Odinson. So that's interesting. And on the other side, it's fronted by the new War Machine.
Yes.
And then we got everyone in there from Squirrel Girl, Gwenpool, Miss America, Prowler, Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and there's Hawkeye, Kate Bishop. So a lot of traditional characters, but with new people behind the mask.
That's right.
Yeah.
Which Hulk do you think that is?
That's the
Amadeus?
Yeah, that's Amadeus Child. That's the totally awesome Hulk.
Cool.
Oh, cool.
And then I think probably Fing Fang Foom's leg in there.
Well, that's what I was wondering, if it's Fing Fang Foom or this new character called US Kaiju or American Kaiju or something other, because it's a big... Kaiju's are huge.
Yeah, it's Kaiju. That's out of the AIM book, or the whatever the one...
End of Standoff or something,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Fing Fang Foom would be cool.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So again, this constant evolving of characters and trying, this is one thing that Marvel does constantly, is changing up their rosters and new number ones and new teams. And it's something that DC is starting to build into as well, right?
Yeah.
What do you think of that, though? Do you get a little fatigued after a while? Would you like to just kind of sink your teeth into the universe for at least a year or two before they change the status quo? Because we've gone from Marvel Now to all new, all different, to now this. I think there's even something else before the Marvel Now, and it's just a constant well, let's just get to know these characters of who they are at the moment, right?
Yeah, I agree. Like, as me who doesn't read that much Marvel, it would be good to kind of go in knowing, okay, I'm going to have this Captain America, and he's going to be my Captain America for the next 6 to 10 years, or something like that. Like, I think that might be unrealistic, but it's nice to know that these characters who you grew up with are still these characters. That's one thing that why I kind of gravitated more towards DC when I was starting to read comics, is that, with the New 52, Bruce Wayne is Batman, Clark Kent is Superman. Yeah. When I pick up Captain America and I see Sam Wilson's Captain America, unless I've watched the movies, you're probably not going to know a lot about Falcon unless you're really like a hardcore Marvel fan.
Exactly.
So in that sense, it kind of does sway like one way or the other. So I'm kind of more on the fence of, I like the traditional superheroes as who they were when they were in like the 30s up until now. Yeah. I mean, sometimes it works. Like if you look at The Flash with Wally West, people swear by him as like their Flash.
Pivotal Flash, right?
Yeah.
He was Flash from after like the 70s or all the way to like the 90s?
Yeah, so
right?
it's 20 years. That's a long time.
Huge.
Yeah. Same with Green Lanterns, though. Not to derail this Marvel talk. Sorry, Tim. He's just getting mad at me right now. But for me, it's normally, the first is typically the best.
Yeah, I agree.
What are your thoughts?
The nice thing, though, about this, and the reason that sometimes I'm like, there's a lot of new characters here, but they still have your bedrock characters have ongoings. If you look right now, Cap's got his new book back.
Yeah.
We've got Iron Man books. We've got Guardians books, right? So there's always those books you can lean back on.
Yeah.
And they're just trying to reintroduce some of these characters. And you look recently, some of the characters have come quite big. Spider-Gwen is big now.
Miles.
And Miles Morales
right.
is huge now. And so it's giving characters... it's almost like just putting them out there and seeing what takes.
That's true.
And then it's just small experiments, right?
That's
and
true.
they try this all the time. And this is how we get evolution of characters. Again, another one, Sam Wilson Cap.
Right.
I love that character now.
And he's sticking around still.
Exactly.
Right?
He'll be around, I think, as Cap for a long time.
Okay.
And we see kind of now we have multiple Caps and multiple Thors. And again, Thor...
Jane Foster.
She's stuck around.
Yeah.
She's a big fan favorite now.
Yeah.
And you're seeing like the new Miss Marvel.
She's a big hit.
And evolving Captain Marvel is a big one too. So it's giving the characters the opportunity to do something different. And I think that's what we're doing here. And you'll see these characters fade into the background, right? Ones that don't work. They'll give whomever, like Kate Bishop, Hawkeye, is another character that's doing quite well in the Hawkeye series. But they'll give them series and just they'll, maybe get 5 issues and then fade into obscurity.
Maybe like Amadeus. I don't know if Amadeus is doing so well.
No.
Totally
And
awesome.
they may start to supplement them with other characters, have team-ups and stuff like that to actually kind of maybe thrust these characters in. And it's just trying to change things. And again, I'm in big favor of having the original Marvel characters, classic characters in their own ongoing series and as part of Avengers. But I'm okay with changing. So they can always come back, right?
Yeah.
And I'd rather them try different things and then me find 1 or 2 things that I really like as opposed to just having a consistent run of the same characters fighting the same villains and doing similar things. We have to see these guys changing. Otherwise it just becomes stale.
But do you not think they tie themselves out a little bit, like doing it so close to each other? Because like was it Secret Wars was not too long ago,
Yeah, I agree. It would be nice to have a bit of a break from these constant changes of status quo.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm okay with it. Like it does get tiresome, and it's kind of like, I have to go and get a whole new series of Avengers books or whatever, right? Or is there something new I'm going to try to dip my toe in? But I think for the time being, they usually leave their mainstays alone.
That's true.
Because Iron Man really hasn't changed that much. There's been like some different storylines, and he's taken different plot points and threads and that through, but at the same time it's still basically your Tony Stark that you know and love, and with Cap back now, and I know the story is changing, but at the same time you're getting back to that Hydra and Winter Soldier's in there.
That's true.
So I'm okay with it. But I will kind of agree with you that it does maybe happen too quick. And I'd like them to leave some of this maybe further into the future where we're not like looking at the end of Civil War before I've read Civil War 3. But this is all about solicitation, right? So that's the new solicitation coming out for the fall.
That's true. And I guess it's comic books, right? Like, comic books are getting harder and harder to sell. So I guess they got to do so many different marketing techniques. Too.
Exactly.
But I don't know if you have it going on there. What about this new thing going on with Marvel I Quit? Have you been seeing those things?
No.
So there's been these images that have come up. Cyclops from the all different X-Men. I believe it says I quit. So, and you've seen one with Miles Morales, I quit. Totally Awesome Hulk, it says I quit. So you don't know, maybe these guys will leave the team after the events of Civil War. So that's another thing I was looking at here, which is like, well, why would some of these characters still be here if they have this whole I quit thing going on? So
maybe they quit smoking and they just want you to know.
Maybe that's a hell of a campaign.
I quit. You can too.
Speaking about campaigns,
what a segue.
That's awesome.
Spider-Gwen Annual #1 had a very interesting character in it. So this is set in an alternate universe where Gwen Stacy gets bitten by the radioactive spider, not Spider-Man. But there's a small story in there with the future Captain America fighting MODOK. This is a new MODOK. A very different MODOK. A very presidential? Not even close.
Interesting. The Hillary Clinton MODOK.
Nah, this is slightly different. This is a take on maybe someone that's
Bernie Sanders?
No. This is the mental organism designed as America's king. This is the Trump MODOK.
Interesting. All right. That's funny.
So Marvel's taking a swipe and maybe put themselves in one camp
Yeah, I say
at
so.
Donald Trump here, and they've given his likeness to the MODOK in this Gwen Stacy universe.
That's hilarious.
That's funny.
And it's quite funny, actually, to see Captain America beating the shit out of him.
Oh, nice.
And he even utters the reference as he's getting beat up, "Make America..." Doesn't get quite through it, but you can get there.
no way.
If there's any question whether or not this is actually a hit at Trump or a swipe at Trump.
It's not like you're fired.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting
Yeah.
to see. I kind of like that.
It's pretty funny. I like it too. But is there any doubt that if Trump was running in the Marvel universe, probably Iron Man would vote for him? I'm just gonna throw it up there. He owns his own business. You know, I'm just saying. Would that take away your affinity for a character if you discovered in the Marvel universe, say like Spider-Man or Captain America voted for Trump? Would you be like, oh man, like...
Yes.
I know Spider-Man won't because issue 5061, I think, Amazing Spider-Man, he teams up with Barack Obama. So I know my boy Peter Parker stayed away from that guy.
The whole bigotry and all that stuff. I'm not going to wade into political topics here, but...
This isn't a political podcast?
Yeah.
No. Make our podcast great again, Tim.
Wow.
It was great when it was just Tim and Troy, and then Sunjay came on and ruined it. These people, they sneak into these podcasts here uninvited. We're getting too crowded at this table. We need to do better controls.
It's a little too diverse.
I think what they're going to do is they're going to build a wall around this podcast, make me pay for it, and keep me out.
That sounds ridiculous. Speaking about life parodies.
Yeah. Let's keep them coming.
Yeah. Marvel had another interesting comic they released. It was Spider-Man Deadpool issue number 6.
Yeah.
Where they had some real life in the comic universe commentary on the state of comic book movies, in particular Batman v Superman, Civil War, the Spider-Man constant reboots, and Deadpool and Fox.
Yeah.
So it's a fun issue. I'd go check it out. So there is some references to Spider-Man being rebooted a few times, Deadpool, and actually name-dropping Ryan Reynolds.
Really? That's awesome.
Yeah. The best one,
Yeah.
by far, is Marvel's backhanded swipe at Batman v Superman. So there's a really cool poster in the background that's Nighthawk versus Hyperion.
Yeah.
Which are both stand-ins in the Marvel universe from the Squadron Supreme for Batman and Superman, and it's tagged "Yawn of Boredom."
Wow, they threw down.
And who else better to do it than Deadpool? And
Yeah,
Superman?
exactly.
That's just brilliant.
So it's a lighthearted take on everything.
Oh, yeah.
And they even poke fun at the X-Men, saying they're kind of X-Men are standing around and they're kind of like, why is no one talking to us?
I love it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, that's great. I mean, I'm a big Batman v Superman fan, but man, I can laugh at that. That's funny. Like sometimes people take these things too seriously.
Oh yeah.
No, it's nice, lighthearted fun, and like being it's delivered by Deadpool and Spider-Man, you're kind of like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Yeah.
of this acknowledgement of the movie universe and all that.
And they're both victims of it too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so guys, we are here to talk about DC Comics Rebirth.
Yeah.
Yay!
So the month of June had the relaunch. Are we calling this a relaunch, a reboot? Like, what is this? What do you guys think of
I
this?
definitely would say it's a reboot.
Yeah.
It's almost a relaunch. Hey,
Yeah,
reorganization?
It's like refaith or something. It's like rebirth is a good term for it.
it's like restoring.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, that's a good one. It's a
DC
restoring.
because we're bringing back characters that we love pre New 52 Superman, right? We're getting some plot lines explained basically that we're missing in the original New 52. So I just gotta say, June's been a wicked month for comics.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
this
hasn't
has just
it?
been awesome. If
Yeah.
you're DC and if you're Marvel, this is fantastic. Yeah.
So this is the first time we're seeing the renumbering of the DC Comics line since 2011, right?
Yes.
The New 52 initiative that dropped. And we're getting these books twice monthly, some of them.
Yeah.
And what's nice about them that I liked is the cover price is $2.99.
Yeah.
So it's a nice break from Marvel's $3.99.
Yeah.
Which entices you a bit more, but I guess at the end of the day, you're still spending about $2 more, right?
Yeah.
So if you're getting
Yeah.
twice
Right,
monthly.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I don't think that's going to last. There's no way it can. Even now, there's talk of some of the books being pushed back because twice a month is just
That's a
not
lot.
reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot of story.
That's a lot of
Yeah.
story,
Yeah.
you know?
It's going to get old real fast. Like, I love these stories, but if you're reading them twice a twice a month. Like, there's not enough time, you know?
No.
You can't really properly digest the stories. And
especially with the art that they've been doing right now. Like, the art is incredible.
And
I give it 6 months to keep up with this 2 a month.
Christmas time, and then...
Well, yeah. Better.
They're going to pump more books out for some of these in the first year than they would have in the first 4 years in the New 52 order, right? So there's going to be a lot of books coming out. And can you guys just give me kind of a brief rundown of... I know New 52 is a lot to condense down into a couple of sentences, but were you guys happy with the direction that New 52 was going up until the point that they got to?
Start off with me. I actually never really had any problems with New 52 because I jumped in off through Batman. And if you've been reading Batman pre-New 52 and then going into New 52, you probably had no problem with it. The story was great. It's Scott Snyder that's writing this book, and Greg Capullo. You can't complain when it comes to those two. So I never had a problem with it, but as I got into Superman, that's when I kind of started seeing some holes. I didn't really start appreciating the New 52 Superman until maybe your friend John Romano Jr. started drawing on the book. And then once they kind of made the announcement that they're killing Superman, that's when a lot of people actually really started to appreciate the New 52 Superman because he started doing some pretty cool things.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but then they brought back the New 50 the pre-New 52 Superman, which goes by Clark White, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so he's from the original timeline that we all know. So now that he's back, things are looking pretty good.
Oh, that's cool.
For this universe, yeah.
Yeah. For me, the New 52 was my jumping point into comics. Without it, I probably wouldn't be reading comics and doing this podcast here today. So I owe a lot to the New 52. Yeah. It was an easy jumping on point. Everything started at 1. Everything started again. There were some plot holes. So if you were a longtime reader, I could understand your frustration with the series.
Yeah.
Definitely, but as a new reader, I absolutely loved it, and I'm sad to see it go, but, I really am enjoying this new rebirth, so...
Yeah, so this is, from my perspective, this is meant to get people into DC Comics, right? So this is an attempt at saying, here's new number ones, you don't have to worry about continuity of the New 52, but do you think weaving back in the old kind of legacy continuity, which they seem to be doing, is going to deter people once they get into them? And I'll give my comments on that coming into this as we go through this kind of week by week as to how I feel about coming into this. But do you guys, as more DC readers, feel that it's going to be a bit more difficult than, say, a clean wipe slate like the original New 52 relaunch was?
Well, it wasn't technically... it was supposed to be a clean wipe slate, but they did keep around a lot of old continuity, so it just got confusing, I think.
Yeah. Well, yeah, going into it, I think New 52 actually kind of had the right idea of getting, new youth into the comics, starting the characters, because it worked for me, it worked for Sunjay, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
The only thing is that you lost a lot of experience that these heroes have had. Superman was trained, he knew how to save the world. Batman, everybody had this experience, this legendary presence to them. Whereas when you started with the New 52, they were all young and they were all inexperienced, right?
Right.
So that was kind of weird. But I don't know if this rebirth really... I love it, but I don't know if it really works to bring in a new audience because really you're not really doing anything to do that. If that makes any sense, you're basically just reestablishing the university set in the first place, which was before New 52, and connecting it with the New 52. But I don't really know how it brings in a new audience because it's not like they're really attacking the DC movie line and kind of trying to connect it to that. That would make more sense to me.
Yeah, and it's because maybe the lack of movies they have out right now.
Yeah.
So there's not this familiarity with people like Aquaman. You have a Flash TV show, you have a Green Arrow TV show, so you have avenues in there.
Yeah.
But it's when you get to some of the more obscure characters into Green Lanterns that you're having a difficult time. And also the twist. So we're going to go full spoilers here on the DC Rebirth for the June issues, the big 80-page issue as well. So big spoilers here. So if you haven't read that stuff or you're working into it, just be aware. This integration of Watchmen into it as well is a bit confusing for some people, I think. From my perspective, right? You're getting this concept and this idea that something else is going on, but as someone coming into comic books and into DC, I would say that I don't know if this is something that's happened before or if it's something that is kind of slowly being revealed, which it turns out that's what it is, right?
Exactly.
So you as DC readers from past and present, you're not in the know of what's going on. You have maybe a bit better idea of some of the characters and how they've changed, but there's still that kind of lingering thread that they're pulling through that you don't know yet, right? Because you know it's not a clean wipe and you know they're reintegrating and reweaving with the idea of enticing new people in, but I'm still not fully there.
Right.
I think for them, they're going after the target audience of people who used to read DC and then jumped off when the New 52 hit. Because if you look at when the New 52 hit, the first issues were selling like hotcakes. I think like all top 10 selling comics were all DC comics that first month.
Yeah.
So, I mean, DC has that, it has that star power of Batman and Superman, and I think it was lacking in the last couple months of New 52. I mean, you look at Superman sales, they were way down.
Yeah.
So if you bring that up, then it gets a little bit closer. It closes the gap between the lead that Marvel has and DC in second place. And I think that's what they're trying to do. Obviously, they're trying to catch Marvel. There's no secret to that. They want to be number one. I mean,
sure.
There's that number one. There's that prestige factor to being the number one selling comic book company in the world. And so they're trying to close that gap. And I think they realize that not we, because they don't give me anything, so not we. But I think they realize that... they don't have to go after the Marvel readers. They just have to go after the readers that they lost from New 52.
Do they feel they lost that many people?
I think so.
They did.
Yeah.
There was a lot of backlash that people really didn't like that Superman.
Yeah.
They really didn't like the new 52 Superman at all.
So what they're trying to do is bring back on the people they lost, but also keep the people that they gained from the New 52 and kind of melding those audiences together.
Yeah.
And I think anybody that likes New 52 will love Rebirth. Going forward, it's just they really got to pull on the people that like the classic DC line.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe with the collectors collecting number ones, they'll pick it up as well. And then maybe people who just read nothing but Marvel may be kind of curious and say, "Oh, it's $2.99 for an 80-page issue."
Yeah, Tim.
And I love the Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll pick it up and I'll see what I like, and maybe they'll catch some of those readers as well.
Yeah. So we have an interesting cross-section of readership at the table right now. So we have myself, who's prominently a Marvel reader, so first time really going into DC books. We have Sunjay, who is almost exclusively a DC reader, and we have Troy, who jumps back and forth.
Well, settle down, fans. Settle down.
So I'm really pumped to see where we all lie here, because you're getting kind of, almost the whole spectrum of readership, with the exception of a brand new reader, right, to comic books.
Yeah.
So before we get into this, so we're going to go kind of week by week and just talk about some of the main points in the books, not kind of go through them each in detail and rate and review them all. Let's just highlight some of the stuff that's important for people to know and understand, if they're kind of sitting on the fence, or if there's some interest in what's going on. If you guys have some commentary that you can add to it that'll help people like myself kind of understand what's going on, in particular in stuff like the Batman series, the Flash series, and stuff like that. But one thing I want to clarify first. So this is one of my points of confusion. So from the end of May, the big DC 80-page special, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So they've established this concept that 10 years are missing.
Yeah.
Is that the New 52 10 years that is missing?
Ooh.
Like, what is missing? Like, which timeline is that missing from? This is one point where I don't quite understand.
Yeah, see, that's kind of funny. So you're wondering if it's 10 years of the New 52 or if it's 10 years of the pre-New 52.
Yeah, so are we resetting back to Flashpoint and erasing, to some degree, the New 52 continuity?
Yeah. I think it's the pre-New 52, the original timeline. Why I'm saying that is because after reading Titans Rebirth and Titan Hunt, which is the Teen Titans, basically remembering that they were the original Teen Titans, because going into New 52, the original Teen Titans with Dick Grayson was wiped. It was actually Tim Drake's.
Oh, Tim Drake, yeah.
That was like the first Teen Titans. So anyways, the Teen Titans are, if you go back to Titan Hunt and whatnot, you can see back in the day they were younger kids, which looks like they're about 16, which would be about that 10-year gap, because now Dick Grayson looks a bit older. So I'm thinking maybe it's probably taking place from the original timeline, which would be the pre-New 52.
Yeah, so you're erasing the New 52 continuity to some degree.
That's right, because Wally West has been missing.
Yeah.
And I think it's because Wally West, he's not at all in New 52.
Yeah, so he's out of the time stream. Yeah.
Exactly. So I think it is 10 years prior. Yeah. But at the same time, it doesn't really make too much sense, because then how does it explain Flashpoint? How do you explain, was it Crisis on Infinite Earth?
Yeah, I think there was another reboot in between Crisis and Flashpoint.
Yeah.
So I think that one was called Infinite Crisis, I believe.
Infinite Crisis on Earth.
Yeah. It has Crisis in the title. Yeah. And that's the one where Superboy breaks out of reality by punching it really hard. It worked, okay? It was cool when it happened. And so it's Alexander Luthor and all these cool stuff. So I think they kind of did a reboot there, but they kept the numbering the same.
Yeah.
So I think they're referencing that. So from that point on to Flashpoint, and then I guess they're erasing maybe those 10 years.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, and then Flashpoint happens, and then it's New 52.
Yeah.
So the characters that we're seeing, are they the new 52 incarnations of Batman, Superman, etc., or are they the pre-Flashpoint characters?
See, that's the funny thing. That's what I've been trying to wrap my head around, because I thought basically it was the pre-New 52 characters have now, something's been wiped and they've been changed into the New 52, which I still think that is the case. So the Dick Grayson from Rebirth and New 52 is still the same Dick Grayson in the pre-New 52. The only thing that's weird is that the event that I believe you read, Resurgence, that introduced the original Superman from that timeline, has somehow come from another universe into the New 52.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's why we have this Superman now, the original, back in this universe. That's the only key that's kind of weird for me. Everything else makes sense. The Batman we know from New 52 is still the same Batman from the classics.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm hearing here is that we have the New 52 continuity that has been basically wiped from their minds, but it's still the same characters from the New 52.
The pre-New 52 has been wiped from their minds. So New 52 is still the same.
Yeah.
But everything before New 52 has been wiped from their minds, basically.
And it's starting to...
altered.
and the two realities are starting to blend together.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you guys read Wonder Woman, but the whole issue sets up... She's saying, like, something is familiar, but something feels missing.
Yes.
Something feels wrong. This shouldn't be. And so she's kind of melding her two realities.
Yeah, that mirror panel, right?
Yeah, that's the best splash page I think I've ever seen.
That's cool.
Yeah, you have to check it out. If you haven't seen it, do yourself a favor, check it out. It is just gorgeous art. And it has a whole bunch of Wonder Woman throughout the ages. And I think there's like the old school cheetah in it. And it is just fantastic.
That's my selling point. The art in Rebirth has just been phenomenal.
Yeah,
it's great.
That was one of the problems with New 52 because all the art looked the same. It all looked like Jim Lee art, very defined. Like, I liked it, but like it didn't work for everything. Like, it shouldn't work for like a Teen Titans book and a Flash book, but it would work really cool in the Justice League book and Suicide Squad. So then that's one thing people complain, and I think they really listen, and they're trying to give a more variety of artists out there.
Yeah.
So I'm still a little confused, but we're going to jump straight into all this. And so there's this hinging factor that Dr. Manhattan might have been the one responsible from erasing whatever 10 years is gone.
Exactly. So going into New 52 in the first place, we all thought it was simply the fact that Barry Allen went back to save his mom, came back, had the butterfly effect, and it wiped everything.
Yeah.
That's what we all thought until beginning of June. We've now realized that it's Dr. Manhattan that's actually behind it. And Wally West is kind of hot on his tracks right now, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Good. So I look forward to sorting this particular issue out.
Yeah.
But let's look at the week one. So they had basically two kind of launches here. So they had the Rebirth tagged issues, all number ones, and they're basically like 0 issues, I would call them.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or 0.5 issues or whatever you want to call them, right? And so we had everything from Batman through to Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, all that with the Rebirth tag. And then kind of following into the second, third, fourth week of June, we also had the ongoing number ones, which kicked off a new set of stories for the individual characters.
That's right.
And June saw the release basically of your mainstays, your Justice League mainstays, in their individual ongoing books, as well as Detective Comics and the other one.
Action Comics.
Action Comics,
yes.
Yeah.
And
there's 900 issues to
so we're going to cover here those issues, and then as we go into July, August, we're going to get some of the other ongoing series like Justice League of America and so on and so forth in similar Rebirth and new ongoing fashion.
For sure.
So kicking off the Rebirth event was this 80-page issue that we spoke about that Jeff Johns did, correct?
Yeah.
It was nicely priced at $2.99.
Yeah, that's a bargain.
Yeah, and this really kind of gives you the settings. That's your new DC foundation, if you will. Yeah. Do you mind taking me through some of the important points in this that I should be focusing in on for getting into the larger continuity here?
The one thing I really liked about this is it kind of set the table for new readers. So it just gave you a little bit of tidbits of certain characters. You got to see Green Arrow and Black Canary. You got to see their romance again. You got to see Aquaman and Mera continue their romance. You got to see a little bit about Flash and Wally West and
their romance.
And well, technically Flash is Wally West. Their bromance was... honestly, that panel where he looks like he's going to die...
Man, that's
I'm raising a hand. I shed a tear. It was beautiful.
Crazy. Yeah, that was something else.
It was beautiful, and I know he was gonna get saved, but it didn't feel like he was. And I don't know if it's just like I was just like, oh, he's not gonna get saved. He's gonna die.
Was that in this 80-page issue?
It's in two kind of. It's in the 80-page.
It's in the Rebirth. Yeah,
Flash. They touch on it again.
Yeah, exactly.
But I didn't know Wally West was gonna live, so I was like, oh, they're actually gonna kill this guy off. Yeah, everybody want this guy back, and now they're gonna kill him off. And I was like, oh man,
yeah, because he's not even in the New 52, so it was very plausible he could have got killed off.
His explanation for the other Wally West was a little shifty, though. I thought that's kind of weird how they threw that in there.
Oh, it's his cousin or something?
His cousin's, yeah. Anyway, I thought that's
it's kind of like the same explanation of how in Fantastic Four, was it Human Torch and Invisible Girl are the same family?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of the same explanation.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that was a beautiful moment on the pages. And then you get to see a little bit more about Batman, and they talk a little bit about the Joker, and he says the Joker's being arrested, but he's being held in, I think, Blackgate.
There's like 3 different Jokers.
There's 3 different Jokers, yeah, and so that just blew my mind.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I don't even know like where they're going to go with that and who the 3 Jokers are.
Yeah. I love this issue so much for the simple fact, if you read Flashpoint, and you can read a couple issues of, say you just followed Justice League, and you pick up this book, it just connects so well. It's just like page by page. It's almost like DC knew what they're doing from the beginning. I know they didn't, but just read
they fell ass backwards into it.
They really did, and they pulled off so well. Again, the art's awesome, and I really love the whole Flashpoint stuff going on with Wally West.
Yeah,
I like to see Batman in there. You know, I just love this comic.
Yeah, it's just a fantastic comic. And then the reveal at the end when you see Batman pull the little pin.
Yeah.
And then the epilogue when he says, like, nothing ever ends, Adrian. Nothing ever ends. And then you just see the doomsday clock.
Oh, because that's comedian, isn't it?
Yeah.
The pin, right?
Yeah, the pin's comedian. And then nothing ever ends, I believe, is Dr. Manhattan.
Sure.
And then Adrian, I believe, is Silk Spectre.
A little off topic, going with the DC Rebirth. What do you guys think of the new DC logo? We never really touched on that.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of that one?
I like it. It's kind of simple. It's clean. It's a throwback.
Yeah.
It's a bit
I don't like it.
Really?
To be honest, I don't like it. I think it's way too simplistic.
Looks
I
like
really
the shoes.
I really like the one they had before with like the little. I think you and I talked about this. But it has a little page turning.
Oh, the leaf. Yeah,
I think that's genius.
I like that. That was really cool. But of course, fans were complaining about that one as well, so they had to change it.
Yeah.
But I kind of like it because it kind of sets a new tone. I mean, DC up until let's say May 30th or whenever Rebirth came out, people were hating on DC hard. Like DC was falling on hard times. They were falling way behind Marvel. People hated Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
Man of Steel was so decisive. It had been a long time since The Dark Knight Rises left a good taste in anyone's mouth.
Right.
Even Watchmen, people were decisive about that.
That's true.
So DC, I think, needed to kind of rebrand itself. And so this is kind of another way to separate themselves and kind of start a new era of DC, if you will.
Yeah.
And it seems to be working because if you look, a lot more of the stories now are positive about DC. Not only their stories, but you got the movies coming out. A lot of the positive news coming from there. Ultimate Cut. I'm just telling you, it's a new day. Yeah. In the words of Celine Dion.
Another Canadian superstar.
Oh man, don't we just love Celine Dion? What's your favorite Celine Dion song?
We're not going into this. We got so many comic books to get through.
My heart will go on.
Throw it out there. So, week 1, June 1st, we had the dropping of Batman Rebirth, Green Arrow, Superman, and Green Lanterns.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you guys feel? I mean, Tim just gave me Arrow and Batman today, so I haven't read it.
What I took out of Batman, so Batman was one of the first one I read, because I'm like, if this is my avenue into DC, it's probably going to be Batman. I was left a little bit confused.
Yeah. Okay.
I felt like it was picking up somewhere off of a different plot point that I didn't quite understand.
It's coming right off of New 52.
Yeah, okay.
Issue 52.
It very much felt like that. So we had the introduction of this Duke Thomas.
Duke, yeah.
And so he's becoming not a new Robin, but something else.
He kind of set the mark for like We Are Robins, where he basically made a Robin assembled team.
Okay.
And he's basically on his own path, and he's not going to be a Robin. No.
Okay. Is it the cool new looking yellow sort of suit, I guess?
Yeah.
So we'll see how that looks.
Yeah.
So I was left, I'm going to say slightly disappointed.
Yeah.
With the exception of, I really liked the Calendar Man. He was kind of a cool character.
Pretty cool, right?
It sounds ridiculous. When I first read it, I was like, when they first said the Calendar Man, I was like, this sounds like something straight out of Batman 66.
Yeah.
But how they're doing, like how he would die and then come back younger.
Born out of the...
Yeah, that was really cool.
The hand coming out of the mouth. Like, it's almost like a horror book you're reading, right? Yeah.
You definitely got a lot of horror vibes from Snyder's last run, especially with Mr. Bloom and stuff.
Yeah.
It seems like they're taking that tone again. I mean, Batman works perfect for horror.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I guess with this, it's a little unfair for me to do this. I kind of compared it to a Batman New 52 #1, which is just incredible.
Oh, such a good issue.
It's just, right? It's phenomenal. But this, I totally get you. If you haven't been really keeping up with Batman, you're going to be a little confused.
Yeah.
But again, the art's fantastic. I read it twice actually to really appreciate this issue, which it kind of came around to me. But it's kind of a little boring in some spots too.
Yeah.
I don't really care for this new person they're introducing, Gotham, this hero.
Yeah, so that's in the number 1 issue.
Oh, right, that part there. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So they also had Green Lantern. So I was hoping this was going to be my Guardians kind of way in. So it picks up on a lot of details, specifically when it comes to the ring. So I'm familiar with the concept of the different color spectrum and their different emotions, correct?
Yeah.
And
Will, I think.
Will, fear, hope, love, hate, rage, and death, and light. We'll go with that.
Yeah. Light is an emotion I have. But it seems that we have these two, are they new lanterns?
Yeah, they're
Relatively
rookie
new?
lanterns.
Yeah. That Hal Jordan's kind of left, said, protect Earth.
What's her name? Cruz?
Yeah, there's two of them. Yeah.
There's Cruz and then there's Simon Baz. And Simon Baz is a cool one. I don't think there's a lot of Muslim superheroes out there.
No.
So he's one of the only ones, which was, I thought, a cool touch and a cool new take on a classic superhero.
Yeah, diversifying a bit. I like to see that.
Yeah, and it felt natural, too. If you go back and read how he got his origin and how he got the ring, it was a cool story in the Green Lantern New 52 run.
Yeah.
And Cruz as well was kind of a different take on it as well. I don't think there's been a female Green Lantern that's protected Earth. I mean, there's Pink Lantern, which was...
classic girl color.
Yeah.
She was cool in Darkseid Wars. She was in Darkseid Wars.
Yeah, the Green Lantern. Yeah. Jessica Cruz's name.
Yeah. Cool.
Very cool story where she was like afraid of everything, and then there was like this dark ring, and then it found her because she was afraid of everything, and then she got a Green Lantern ring because she was able to overcome great fear.
Yeah.
So I thought that was an awesome segue into her origin.
For sure.
Well, and there seems to be this new One Ring to rule them all sort of vibe going on at the end of this.
So they got to destroy it in Mount Mordor? Or?
Something like that.
Yeah.
So I guess some guy, I'm literally like read these like over the last week or so, but you open some box and get the full spectrum coming out and so you get this, I think, what appears to be like this super powerful ring. Or I don't know.
Okay. It might be a White Lantern ring. Maybe they'll reveal that because I think that's like the full color of the spectrum. I don't know. Maybe it's a rainbow colored ring.
Yeah, maybe.
That'd be kind of cool.
So another big one that dropped was the Superman Rebirth.
Yes.
So this is something that again picks up on New 52 continuity. So I knew that there's something that this had connected up. So I went back and just kind of and Googled the Superman New 52, the end of it, right?
Yeah.
So that's where we saw the death of the New 52 Superman, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so how does he die? Because I haven't read that yet.
He like
He's,
melts.
a lot of things. A lot of things killed him because he's basically had like kryptonite poisoning. He's lost his powers from Savage. There's a lot of things that's been going on, but basically Clark White, which is the pre-New 52 Superman, him and New 52 Superman kind of team up for the last end, but then Superman fights this other Superman that overpowers. It's kind of crazy, but anyway, Superman ends up just kind of dying on Earth, and you have to check it out.
So it's not Doomsday anymore. Like
he fought Doomsday already in New 52, like the New 52 Doomsday. He fought him.
That's so disappointing. I hated that story.
Yeah, which is kind of cool that you bring that up because this Clark White kind of thinks, oh, I came back after I lost to Doomsday, maybe this Clark will come back after losing. But
it's
cool. They touch on that,
so
right?
they do touch on that the aspect of the regeneration matrix, right?
Yes, yeah, and the Fortress of Solitude there.
Yeah, they can't bring him back.
Yeah.
So basically, the pre-52 Superman is more or less forced to take up the mantle.
Exactly.
Right?
Oh, okay.
And so he's rocking that black suit for a little while. Which
there's
so
another
cool.
There's another series in the New 52 called Clark and Lois, which he's kind of been the Superman of New 52, but he's kind of been in the shadows doing things that other heroes aren't doing. Right?
Cool.
But now he has to come out of the shadows and become the Superman.
Yeah, and that's addressed in the Superman #1 issue. Or no, it was not the Detective Comics, was the other one.
Action
Comics. I keep
Comics.
forgetting that.
900 issues, Tim.
But this sets up the new status quo Superman.
Yes.
So the pre-New 52 he's your guy now.
Yeah, I love it. And like I said, you actually kind of like the New 52 Superman on like the last 5 or 7 issues there when he's dying.
Yeah.
Too bad.
So the Green Arrow issue.
Yes.
So the Rebirth. So this Sunjay, I know you haven't read this because I literally just handed it to you. It shifts back to an era which I think you're going to appreciate a bit more. So we get an older Oliver.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Or at least the Oliver there hasn't shaved.
Yeah.
He's kind of
but he's all gray in that. Is he old in the New 52? Because I thought he was kind of more the Stephen Amell.
He's Stephen Amell for sure.
I think he's still the same. He just hasn't shaved. Like he's trying to get the goatee look back.
Okay.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
because they do make reference to that. Yeah, Black Canary does.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Like, oh, you got the beard or something or other.
He just looked old to me.
You think so?
Yeah. He looked aged.
I
don't know. Maybe
originally he was like the older guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the original DC comics.
Like the 70s, and that what you got into. Sanjay.
Yeah.
Sanjay went back and collected like the whole
That's
back
so
issue run of
cool.
Green Arrow.
Yeah,
That's
so
really
the first
cool.
volume in the 80s, and then all the way up until, I think I have every issue up until Kevin Smith's run, so I still got to get on that. But yeah, I loved it back in the 80s. I think that's one of the best books I've ever read.
Wow, that's
just
cool.
the detail and the stories were just such mature content, but it wasn't done in poor taste. It was done in a very respectful to the audience way. Like, it didn't just do violence for the sake of violence. It had a point to it.
Nice.
So, and they touched on all topics. They didn't shy away from anything. So
Yeah.
hopefully they bring that into this new rebirth.
Who had the heroin addiction?
His
partner,
ward, Speedy.
Yeah, Speedy.
Yeah, Red Arrow.
Because that's reference.
Right?
Oh,
yeah,
really?
and he
I caught
tells
that
Black
because I was
Canary-
like, "There's something very specific about this," and I remember you telling me about these more gritty
really
stories,
cool.
these like
Yeah.
street level stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He tells Black Canary, like, don't go there, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. He stops it right there.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's great. Love that issue. And again, like, I'm going to say this like 50 times, the art's just awesome. It's so different from any other DC book right now, the art in this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I like is, each book seems like its own separate silo.
Yeah.
Whereas before, everything just fit under this one huge umbrella.
Yeah.
I'm really short on euphemisms here, but
Well, that's how I felt with Batman New 52. I felt because Greg Capullo's art was so different than everybody else's.
yeah, definitely.
Jumping into week 2. So we saw the release of Aquaman, Flash, and Wonder Woman Rebirths, as well as the renumbered Action Comics and Detective Comics. Got Action Comics there.
Yay! You win a prize.
So they're picking up at 957 and 934 with Action and Detective Comics respectively.
They're gonna get 1,000.
That's
soon.
pretty cool. Like getting to 1,000.
Yeah.
Does that include? Is that picking up or do you know? Does it?
It's including New 52s.
Yeah.
It is including the 52s.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're picking up on the whole entirety of
Yeah,
Detective
like the
Comics.
52 issues on top of the...
On top of what it ended off with, I think it was like
something. In
Yeah.
the 37.
So it's gonna be really cool when they get to issue 1,000. I'll definitely be in on that, even though I'm probably not gonna bulldoze through the next 50 or so issues.
yeah, that's gonna be
I
a
heard
huge
that-
celebration.
I heard there was rumors with the new, I think 1,000, when they get there, they're going to have artists and writers lined up, so different ones. Like you'll have the one that's doing Dark Knight right now. I forget his name.
Frank Miller?
Frank Miller. So
Yeah.
you have guys like Frank Miller and a bunch of other different artists and writers.
Oh, that's
Same
awesome.
book. That'll be pretty cool.
That'd be the first issues probably ever to get to issue 1,000, I would assume.
Well, they actually had 1 million issue.
Yeah,
DC 1 million.
would they project themselves way into the future? With
Yeah,
the
the whole thing was if Action Comics released their 1 millionth issue, it'd be like the year 30 something.
And Marvel owns them.
Yeah. Or DC owns Marvel.
So part of this release in the second week, we had Aquaman.
Yes.
So I know you guys were big fans of Aquaman from
I
New
love
52.
Aquaman.
And again, this is another book that seems to pick up on direct continuity, I think, because I get some of it, and it seems to reintroduce one of the big villains of Aquaman in Black Manta.
Black Manta, yeah. I always thought Will Smith would have made the perfect Black Manta.
I think Idris Elba.
Oh, man. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, I think he'd be pretty cool. I really like... That's my favorite part of this issue, was actually the reveal of Black Manta at the end. But other than that, I gotta say, this was maybe one of my weaker rebirths.
Is busy.
It was way too busy. And the art was a little too comic-y in some parts for me. That's just me, though. Yeah,
I really liked it. I mean, I really liked how they kind of reference Aquaman sort of like a joke in society.
I like that.
That was cool.
Yeah, and
I
they kind of get that out of the way and say, okay, so you think he's a joke, and then they show him doing all these heroic things, being king of Atlantis.
Yes.
The one parallel I got was Aquaman and Black Panther from Marvel. They're both kind of, excuse the pun, fish out of water, where they're caught in between two kingdoms and two lands. So Aquaman with Atlantis and Black Panther from Wakanda.
Yeah.
And they got to walk that line because they're royalty, so they're both kings. And then they have to toe the line of, okay, modernizing their societies, but also keeping the traditions alive in their societies.
Yeah.
Did you guys pick up on that? I mean, I know you're more of a Marvel guy. Do you see the parallels between BP and Aqua?
Well, definitely, but I thought more of Namor and Aquaman.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Like that whole idea of, they're protectors of two worlds. Namor, not really.
Right.
But that's maybe more where you draw the parallels of Black Panther. It's this protector of two worlds, but part of none of them.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that concept that they're pulling in there. And this book seemed to really set up for new readers. And it's kind of like, I know from hearing you guys talk about Aquaman before, they kind of established this concept of this, he's a joke on land, and, what is he? People are afraid of him, but he's also a head of state, which is kind of weird and all this. And they really pick up on that and kind of thrust that and say, here is Aquaman, we're going to lay him out. And I kept thinking to myself, and one thing that was a bit distracting for me was, and I've seen Aquaman for years in his, orange and yellow and green suit.
Yeah.
But I kept looking for a darker, more realistic, Momoa,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
Aquaman.
For sure.
I'm really surprised they didn't take this opportunity to at least maybe not go with the dark hair or whatever, but kind of change his costume into something that looked a bit more cinematic.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because that did take me out, because I was like, this is a bit why Aquaman is kind of jokey. Is like, you look at his suit, and it hasn't changed that much from what I picture as a golden age, silver age sort of Aquaman, right?
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate because, it looks just like the same New 52 costume that he's worn. I think it would have been a cool chance to kind of go back to the Aquaman that we know before with the one arm, like the hook arm.
Oh,
the
that was
long
so
hair,
cool, yeah.
Big beard.
Yeah.
Like, that's totally cool. Or even go the Injustice route. Like, just give him like that badass kind of look. And,
Yeah, he
I
doesn't
think they
look.
missed out.
Yes, I think long hair and a beard.
Yeah.
He starts to look a little bit more like Thor or whatever, or Momoa or whatever you want to say. But he doesn't have that prowess to him, right? That that air of a king that you get. Being real clean cut and shaven and all that, it doesn't really work for me.
It takes away from him.
Yeah.
Well, they actually did make a change to his costume when the New 52. I think it was issue 30 or 40. I can't remember, but he had like black armor and then he had like green pants, and it looked really badass. And his hair was longer and he had a beard. So it was just like a stubble, but it wasn't like a full grown beard or anything. So they did kind of try to change it up, but then I just didn't like it. It felt kind of forced. It felt like that's Momoa, that's in the movie universe, but my classic Aquaman is the Aquaman that you see in this issue with his orange suit and his scales and his green pants with the trident. I'm glad they didn't change it up because sometimes it can feel a little bit forced, and they can always change it up. When he had the hook hand, it fit with the story where he can no longer communicate with fish, and so his hand gets put in the water, and then someone else can, and then piranhas actually eat it off. And so that's why he has like the hook hand. Yeah, so I mean they went really dark, but so it actually fit with the story. It's not just, one day he wakes up and he's like, Mira, I'm gonna grow this beard and get tattoos and hey, why not? Just lose the sleeves on my shirt and go shirtless.
I guess too, especially because Rebirth is really trying to restore what the original audience wanted. So I guess what you're saying, that makes sense that they went back or kept him as is.
Yeah, totally. I feel like it did a good job in this issue dispelling any myths of Aquaman kind of being lame. I don't know, because I'm a huge Aquaman fan. Do you guys still have that sense when people say, "Oh, look at that Aquaman"? Are you guys gonna be like, "Oh, that's lame"? Like, get away from me.
No, I've never been on that camp. I never thought Aquaman was lame, but I always just laughed, when people did make the jokes. I thought it was pretty funny.
It's nice to acknowledge it in the book.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think that does more for the reader than anything, right?
Yeah.
But again, I'll say that the costume takes me out of it. But that's just coming from a new reader, right?
No, fair enough.
You have that nice cross section of readership here, so it gives you a different opinion.
What do you think of the end when Black Manta reveals that Aquaman killed his father, and that's his revenge for going against Aquaman? I mean, that's such a cool
Is that a new
revenge.
reveal? Yeah.
Well, no, that's been in the stories forever. Okay. Yeah.
That page though was just so cool.
He pops in the helmet. Yeah, that's cool.
I
cool.
Black Manta, I think, has one of the coolest suits, and
I think he's awesome. And I really hope he's in like Justice League or something because
he has to be. Idris Elba, I mean, he's not doing anything in Marvel, doing that Heimdall or whatever.
Yeah.
Come over and be Black Manta. Oh, him versus Momoa.
He's doing Dark Tower right now, though.
Oh,
that'll never take off.
I think's in there too.
Yeah.
Stephen King movies.
Yeah. So jumping to our next issue, Detective Comics number 934. So this is a Batman-focused comic.
Yeah.
And I'm for DC listeners that are like, oh yeah, of course. But for me, this is all new territory. Yeah. So he seems to assemble this very interesting
detective team.
Yes, which composes of Batwoman, Orphan, who was a Batgirl, I guess.
Kind of. She was in Batman Robin Eternal.
Okay.
Right. There's she was like a mute. I don't know if she can talk yet. But she was a mute. Okay. It's like a 27, 28 issue arc going on.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
And then we've got Red Robin, Tim Drake.
And he's restored back in his original 90s costume.
Oh, I love
awesome.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. And Spoiler, who I guess is another Batgirl of sorts.
Oh, well, the character's name is actually Spoiler?
I guess.
I thought you were going to say like Spoiler and then like
I don't
reveal
know,
something.
Spoiler. I think Spoiler was originally Stephanie Brown, who was Tim Drake's girlfriend in the pre-New 52.
Okay.
And she became Robin, got killed off, and they brought her back in the New 52, and now she goes by Spoiler.
Oh, okay, cool.
And then also Clayface.
Really?
Yes, which is really cool.
Yeah, I love
different.
Clayface. Yeah.
So it's neat to see a very diverse cast of Batman crew or vigilantes, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So this is something I was a bit interested in. So we're not really going to talk about the follow-on issues to these. We can pick them up in another episode. But this is something that kind of intrigued me. But this different kind of diverse group. So I kind of liked it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Would you carry on? Are any of these issues that you liked, are you going to pick up the next issue?
One of these issues that we'll talk about next year, actually, the
I know which one
Flash
Yeah.
Rebirth issue. I really enjoyed this one. The art was really good. And I like the story because I'm a big fan of continuity.
Yeah.
And this seems to be the book that they're leaning on to tell the story of what's gone on, at least to some degree, with this whole Wally West thing.
Yeah.
And I like the concept. And they address this a bit in the #1 ongoing issue of him being somewhat out of the time stream.
Yeah.
And then him being saved, like we talked about earlier. They keep using this term, we're being watched.
Yes.
Right? And this seems like a very heavy-handed reference to The Watchmen. Right?
Yeah.
And I really like this book. And this is something that I will probably try to continue with.
Oh, awesome.
Or at least maybe do a trade paperback once
Yeah.
we get to 6 or 8 issues or something like that.
Yeah.
Get it a bit more on the cheap. And because I'm not too worried about collecting the single issues. But I did like it. And I liked Barry Allen.
Yes.
And I'm a bit more familiar with the character because of coming from... I don't watch a TV show, but I've watched some episodes.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff we've heard about in the Justice League movies got me a bit more intrigued about the character.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So this is, again, an avenue of movie watching, TV watching, and just hearing about the character that's got me interested in it. Now, the story inside of it I really liked as well, so that helps us too.
Oh,
For
awesome.
Yeah, and it's cool to see Batman and Flash team up again because, it was Barry Allen that presented Batman with the letter
Yeah.
in the first place after the Flashpoint events. But yeah, again, the art's awesome in this. And this is definitely one to watch out for is Flash and I'd say Titan Rebirth because those two are going to be really focusing on what's been going on this whole time.
And that's what I like because I'm really interested in the whole continuity and how they're trying to fix things and move these puzzle pieces around to create something that's a whole entity again, right? That makes sense. And if they can actually pull that off, I see it happening within some of these books. And that's why I particularly like the Flash.
Exactly. And who else better to do it than the Flash and the best detective?
Yeah, exactly.
So cool.
After reading that DC Rebirth 80-page special, do you have a more appreciation for the scene in Batman vs Superman where the Flash comes out of Batman's dream and he's like, "Help me, Bruce"?
Yeah, I kind of get that a bit more.
Yeah, you get the reference.
Still
now?
a bit out of nowhere.
Yeah, maybe the ultimate cut will fix it.
We'll see. We'll see in a couple of weeks.
I'm just gonna have that and repeat every time someone asks me about the movie. I'll say, maybe the ultimate cut will fix it.
Yeah.
Until maybe it does or doesn't in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
You can get it on iTunes right now.
That's right. I know. I'm holding off for that.
I refuse that.
Steelbook.
Yeah, Steelbook.
So Action Comics number 957. So this picks up after the death of the new 52 Superman.
That's right.
And we have Lex Luthor picking up the mantle of Superman, including wearing the emblem and some powered suit.
Oh, that's
Typical
cool.
Lex.
Yeah.
And so he seems to be, I don't know if he's taking some sort of path to doing something good. But we do see the pre-52 Batman come out of basically retirement to stop or take on Lex Luthor. And I guess as they battle, Doomsday is revealed.
Oh, awesome.
So I have some familiarity with these characters.
Yeah.
So again, something that's a little intriguing. Seems like they're going to be pulling this through all the Superman books to a degree. So that's something I'm not particularly familiar with is in the individuals. So we have Superman, there's going to be the new Superman or whatever. There's Action Comics. Do they pull a continuous story through these comics, or are they kind of one-offs or ongoings in themselves set at slightly different timelines? Do you know how they're going to connect up?
I know before going into Rebirth, I used to have to do Action and Superman hand to hand because they connected. Same with Superman, Wonder Woman. They were all tied together.
So it's like the Star Wars Darth Vader. They're very much the same timeline, same story, just from different perspectives.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but I think for the most part they'll be standalone. But I think if you have crossover issues, it's very common to have it start in Superman, then go to Action Comics, and then you used to go to Superman and Wonder Woman, Superman and Batman.
Exactly.
So
and then I think they even have a trio comic now.
Yeah, Trinity. Yeah.
Trinity.
Okay, cool,
So that's a lot.
Speaking about Wonder Woman,
Yes.
she also had an issue drop this week.
That's right.
And I know you guys are raving about this. Well, at least Sunjay.
Okay, this is my favorite issue. I've only read the 3 issues, so but this is my favorite one so far. I love it. I mean, it starts off with Wonder Woman, and it goes through her entire history, and she's kind of confused. She's like, this feels familiar, but something's different. And then she recounts her different origins.
Yeah.
So she says, am I made of clay? Yes. Or am I the daughter of the Queen of the Amazons and Zeus? Or I can't remember what the third one was. And then it talks about how she met Steve Trevor, and because he was a man who fell from the sky, and then he fell on the Paradise Island. Or did she have to win this contest in order to go to man's world and help man defeat Ares, the god of war?
Yes.
So it kind of, in one issue, you already know 3 different origins of Wonder Woman. You're already caught up with kind of her different origins throughout the years.
Yeah. And she's a brother now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, the art is fantastic.
Yeah.
As we said, the scene where she punches the mirror and you see like the different fragments of reality was just so cool.
Yeah.
So well done.
Yeah.
I really liked at the end where, you're talking about this, Tim, with Aquaman, where Wonder Woman at the end, she changes into pretty much the Gal Gadot costume.
Yeah.
Like it looks identical to the one that she wears in the movie. So you're talking about your continuity, you get it kind of there. And it doesn't seem out of place because it's pretty similar to the one that she was wearing in an earlier issue, just a couple of changes. So I really like that. And before the New 52, she was wearing like these long sleeves with like knives on her hand, and it looked really weird.
That was, I didn't like that.
Yeah, like the New 52 Wonder Woman started off really well when Brian Azzarello was writing it.
Oh yeah, the whole god storyline going on there with Apollo. And
it was
the firstborn.
Yeah, it was like Gods of War meets 300.
Yes.
It was perfect. It was epic.
Awesome. It was 6 volumes, I think.
Yeah, it was, and the whole thing told us one giant story. And then you got a new writer and artist, and then it just fell off a cliff.
Yeah.
And now it's back up. Yeah. So I think that's why I'm super excited, because Aquaman's quality didn't really dip, whereas this one, Wonder Woman, dipped hard. So I'm really super excited to have a good Wonder Woman comic back again. What do you guys think?
It was a lot.
Yeah.
For me, as a new reader to Wonder Woman, and going through 3 different origins, and not having the background in some of those origins to understand them. I think it was written in a sense that it is trying to express something new for new readers, but at the same time, it's really writing for the legacy reader.
For sure.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm appreciative that maybe they're going to explain in a bit more detail in the ongoing with this concept, with these stories, and her being lost and not really knowing her origin. Mm-hmm. And so I kind of look forward to that, but as a number 1 or 0 issue, it was a lot to take in, right?
There's a lot of sex going on in there.
Yeah, exactly.
So and that's nothing demeaned or anything like that. Yeah. It's just to say that there's a lot in there and there's a lot to take in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, stepping into week number 3, so we're coming into the back half of the June releases here. So we have the start of basically more or less the ongoings now. So we have Batman number 1, Green Arrow, Green Lantern, Superman number 1, and then we also have the Titans Rebirth issue. Yeah. The Titans Rebirth issue, this is one of the last of at least June's 0 issues, if you will. And Troy, you talked quite highly about this.
Yeah, going into Titan Rebirth is awesome, but again, this is something you had to be paying attention to. Titan Hunt, which happened probably about 2 months ago. So Titan Hunt explains basically the Titans, the original Teen Titans, are trying to figure out how come they don't remember anything. So you now get hit with Wally West, who's trying to be like, hey guys, you got to remember me, and Dick Grayson finally remembers him just from touching him. So then he touches the other members, and there's a little bit of shock going on there. And then everyone's like, hey Wally, there's some really cool emotional parts in this book. There's you really get a sense of chemistry, and these guys have been through a lot together. And rebuilding it back, and everybody welcomes Wally West back into the universe. So it's a good issue. I like it. I'll keep up with this one.
Were you a Titans fan before the Rebirth, or?
I was a fan, but I never really read the stuff.
Yeah.
Except for Hunt.
Yeah.
Titan Hunt.
This connects in really well with the Flash issue.
Exactly.
So it touches on this whole, like, he has these powers that you're referencing where he kind of touches and you get the memories back.
Exactly.
So it's kind of cool. And I really like this idea that he was stuck outside of the time stream.
Right.
And I wasn't aware that he wasn't in the New 52.
Right.
So you guys telling this is kind of cool, because it makes a bit more sense now that why people are like, oh my god, it's Wally West. It's like, well, where was he? The fact that he never existed, almost like you said, is like DC planned this. And they've pulled him back out. Because usually when they do stuff like this, eventually, and even going back to 2011, it's hard to imagine they kept a character like Wally West out. Someone like that I've heard of as a comic reader, and he's been out of continuity for 5 years, and it just so happens that as this starts, they pull him back in. Really cool.
Yeah, no, definitely. It fits really well, and it kind of goes with, the Flash time traveling and the Speed Force, so it's the perfect character to connect kind of the old universe with the new universe. So, I mean, hats off to DC. I doubt they planned this, but if they did, then that's one hell of a move.
Batman Volume 3 that we're stepping into. This is the number 1 ongoing issue.
Yeah.
And the big thing that happens here is, we have Batman doing his Batman thing in Gotham. And they have the introduction of these, like, kind of what I'm guessing are like Kryptonian sort of power level beings.
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so one called Gotham and one called Gotham Girl.
Original.
Yeah, the costumes
So,
look ridiculous.
yeah, they're
Yeah.
kind of goofy looking. They
Yeah.
look very like Silver Age. And
Yeah.
I like the name Gotham, but then when he's like, I'm Gotham, and this is Gotham Girl,
Yeah,
I was like,
they just did
come
that.
on.
I really like how it shows like how Batman's the man, though, how he's
Yeah.
handling the situation, what's going
Yeah.
on, and it's going back and forth with Alfred is really reminiscent of the Batman v Superman.
Yes.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool.
And then the Green Lanterns, kind of falling into kind of the last of these issues that we were able to pick up. So the Green Lanterns, there we revisit the 2 Green Lanterns that we have from the Rebirth issue, and they introduced this new power. Now, I'm not super familiar, like I said before, with the Green Lantern powers, but he has something that apparently is new called Emerald Sight, where he has some sort of, he's able to almost like see and prophesize future events.
Oh, cool.
Which I guess is a new power. And you do have another one of these kind of almost shattered glass looking splash pages where you're seeing all these different events that are happening.
Nice.
And it looks like at some point you're going to revisit a lot of this stuff. And I guess there's issues with Red Lanterns. And
Cool.
so again, it's a lot to take in, but it was probably a good way to build some foundation in there for me. So I'd like to understand a bit more of the powers that maybe these rings possess.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they'll get into there's quite a large spectrum of colors there.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to do with a lot of these books is not go back and reread something older. I'd like to demonstrate that DC has done the background work and laid the foundation for new readers.
Yeah.
Right.
So this is kind of my little experiment that I'm doing is can I gather enough from speaking to DC readers and also reading some of the comic books to understand this a bit more.
Right.
And just to kind of give an evaluation as to what a new reader is experiencing with this DC Comics Rebirth.
Right.
Right.
So that's kind of the angle I'm taking with some of
Nice.
this.
That's good. That's a good approach.
Last one we're going to talk about here is Superman #1 from week 3. So we're running a bit long, so we're going to hold off on week 4 and talk about that when we discuss some of the July issues. And that's again stepping into Wonder Woman #1, Flash #1, and Aquaman #1. So these are all issues that we all liked to some degree and that me myself are going to continue with. So I'd like to give us a little more time to talk about those.
Sure.
So looking at Superman #1. So this is where we have old Supes.
Yeah.
So he visits dead Supes
Yeah.
in the ground.
Yeah,
They've
yeah.
buried him.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I'm interested in, so he kind of puts his hand on the ground
Yeah.
and then lifts it, and there's this blue handprint. And I had to do a little bit of Googling here, and I know I just said I wasn't going to do that, but it was just to do, because I know that this concept of this red and blue Superman,
Yeah.
is that a path you think they're going down? I don't know.
Interesting. That'd be cool.
And it did also have the slight tinge of a Dr. Manhattan blue as well.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know. I'm just spitballing here, and this is from very limited knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, it's another interesting issue, and I'm kind of a bit intrigued by the Superman
For
stuff.
sure.
Yeah, for sure.
It's the best Superman. This is the real deal.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm liking this thread they're pulling through of this new continuity thing.
And he's a son.
Yeah, exactly.
Family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with the whole DC Rebirth, like this concept that something else is going on in the background, I'm afraid right now, like looking into the future and trying to give myself some perspective, I'm afraid that once they kind of wrap up this whole Rebirth thing and have like some inevitable battle with the Watchmen or whatever, and they go to some sort of just like normal continuity, I'm going to kind of fade away from it because they'll have like this big story wrapped up.
Yeah.
And because I'm really interested in the continuity of it all.
Right.
Yeah.
So, what did you guys think of kind of this relaunch so far? Like, are you guys happy with it?
Oh, yeah.
Clearly, you
Oh,
are.
yeah.
I love this
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Jeff Jones is great. I'm a fanboy, man. I love it. I love what they're doing. Yeah, like I said before 1,000 times now, the art's fantastic. The writers they got on these books are just great.
Yeah.
And I feel like way more in the comic book world than in the movie world that they actually have their foot in the right direction. They know what they're doing. They have a blueprint.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like it's been a rousing success. It seems like everyone's kind of getting behind this.
Yeah.
My question for you guys I pose is, so in my long boxes now I have, say, Batman U52. Do I need a whole new long box for Rebirth, or should I just put them in and just label it Batman?
I'm putting them with my Batman.
Yeah.
I just kept it as the same.
Just Batman.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool too, because like, you know, you get it long enough so you have like a whole box dedicated to just Batman.
Exactly.
Or like, how sick is that going to be?
Yeah. I have a Superman and Action Comics all in one. Batman
Nice.
and all, yeah.
Nice.
For myself as a new reader, so as I've kind of gone through this, I've explained a bit how I'm going to attack these new books. as far as trying to understand the new reader as a new reader, and what DC and how they've evolved these books and appealed to a new readership or a new audience. And so that's how I'm going to continue to go at these. So we're going to look at these maybe July, August, or maybe a bit further down the road and try to review some of these as we go, as they drop these new issues and as they continue through, and see what I stick with, and to try to give it a different perspective on things. And for people that maybe aren't willing to or want to see how this kind of goes for DC Rebirth from a new reader's perspective. So, but from the out of the gate, I'm actually quite happy with some of these, particularly, like I said, Flash. Batman is someone I wanted to get into, but I can't quite get into right now because it's a bit dense. Some of these books, the continuity overwhelmed me a bit. With the legacy, not only the legacy stuff from the pre-New 52, but also the New 52 stuff. So I'm hoping that with further issues, that they kind of explain some of this and lay out the groundwork for a relaunching, if you will, of the universe. But yeah, I'm happy with this, and I'm excited to continue reading some of the DC stuff. And we just give another shout out to Alpha Comics.
Yes, that's
right.
They've
been supporting us in this quest to review and discuss the new DC Rebirth launch. So they're a great local comic book shop here in Calgary.
Shout out to Chris and Alpha Comics team. You guys are holding it down with these DC issues and everything comic related. So thanks a lot.
Go check these guys out. They got everything from Funko Pops to action figures.
Some nice statues. They got the whole DC animated line for the figures going on over there too. Wow. Yeah, it's great. A good long box selection. They have it all going on there. So be sure to check them out. Alpha Comics.
Nice. And if you guys have any opinions on the DC Rebirth that you'd love to express to us, you can always grab us at #EnterTheNerdRoom. We're on all social media, including Facebook and Twitter. Our handles are at the end of the episode. If you want to run over and give us a like on Facebook, by all means, do so. If you want to check us out on iTunes and give us a rating and a review, we're always welcoming feedback on how we can improve the experience for our listeners.
And swipe right on Tinder. No, I'm just kidding.
Tinder page.
Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure talking
been.
DC Comics, Marvel Comics, and a little bit of movies.
Yes, that's right. Well,
no Star Wars.
No,
yeah,
Star
that's
Wars.
the first. We gotta get something in.
Yeah.
What do you feel you like most about Star Wars? The Star or the Wars?
All of it. For the Nerd Room, I'm Tim.
I'm Troy.
And I'm Sunjay.
And thank you for entering the Nerd Room.
See, I locked it this time. You like that little touch?
Yeah. Swallowed the key.
Swallowed the key.
All right, we are out.
Peace.
Don't forget to subscribe and rate and review us on iTunes. You can find our hosts Tim, Sunjay, and Troy on Twitter at TheNerdRM, 1912 Podcasting, and Troy, the Boy, 87.